Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me. I'm on the GoPro. Alright everyone, hello and welcome to a driver's driving therapy session. Oh man, so I just washed the McLaren right now at like a car wash. You know, the one I don't use the ones that touch it. I just use the one, rinse it off because it's ceramic coated, and then I dry it off. But this guy in a new Corvette, like, he looks at me and doesn't say anything, right? Just kind of, he parks next to me, doesn't say anything. And I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because it's not my place to bring up conversation when I have the better car. I mean, that's the rules, in my opinion. Like, the rules are, whoever's got the better car, like, you know, you go up to that person. With the exception, if you have like one of the cars that I absolutely love, like if you had like an original Honda Prelude, I would talk to you, right? But a Corvette doesn't impress me, so I'm not gonna talk to you. And yeah, so I don't know, you guys tell me what you think, but I am loving the McLaren. I mean, driving a supercar is just, it's just amazing, with the exception of like when people act dumb around you. Like I got a guy right now who's trying to act all wild and stuff like that, but it's part of owning the car. Yesterday I drove the NC1 and I'm just such a fan of it. Yeah, the NC1's an incredible car. I had a guy talk to me at the gas station and tell me, you know, is it as good as the first one? And like, you know, and I'm like, I'm the best person to know and answer that question because I've owned both, and the NC1 is better. That's just the truth. That doesn't mean, but I haven't had an NA2, so I almost traded the McLaren for a Series 3 R33 GTR and some significant cash on top of it. But I was like, you know, I already had the R33, I already did that in the channel. But then this guy had an R34 GTT that looks just like an R34 GTR, but beautiful. It's like absolutely gorgeous. And I thought about it because I like to be a little bit controversial. I like to get the cars that people are like, oh, don't get this car or don't get that car. And I think an R34 GTT would have been a fun car in the channel, just to redo it and do all the videos on it and show people that the GTTs or the RB25s are actually pretty cool. Did you hear that? That was the rotors, because I just washed the car and they got a little bit of condensation on them. That's the crazy sound right there. That was a wild sound. Doesn't get old, guys. It doesn't get old at all. But anyways, I loved it. I love the McLaren. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to sell it. Of course, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, you know, it runs great. It's great. It's like, you know, this is the time when McLaren owners sell the cars, when everything's perfect, right? But I really believe in this car. I believe in it a lot, and the reason why is because this particular car has been through everything. I think it's like I'm like owner number 10, which is common with supercars, but I'm on owner number 10, and the guy before me, like, he drove it every day. He put like 2,000 miles in 2 months or something like that. It was like something crazy, his daily driver. And you see these now with 50, 60, 70,000 miles. The joke is on everyone else for thinking that these are problematic. I could see where they could be problematic if you drive them super hard and you make a mistake. Because I've noticed owning mine that, like, you know, it's an automatic and it's a dual clutch, but there's certain parts of the transmission that, like, certain shift points that you don't want to do, like the car doesn't get quite right. So you want to, like, be cautious about your downshifts. Your upshifts, perfect. Your downshifts, like I said, you want to be cautious because the car is braking on its own at a certain speed, in my opinion, even an automatic. But in manual, when you get around third, second gear, you know, like when you're braking and everything, like the brakes and the transmission are a little, they're not perfectly synced. You'd have to feel it to know what I'm talking about. It's not a bad thing, but it's definitely like a very minute software like overlap. So there's a trick to car washes. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people wash their car and then put it in the garage. It's not a smart idea. That's the worst thing you can do for your car. What you want to do is you want to wash your car and then you want to go for a drive. And the reason why is because that air, the heat, everything is going to dry up a lot of water that's hidden in places. And if you don't think water hides when you wash your car, it does. It hides in all kinds of places. But driving this McLaren, owning this McLaren, experiencing this McLaren has been incredible. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to do something a little bit wild. I plan to wrap the car. If we could find the right design, I have a design idea that I think would be pretty cool. It's not the first time somebody's going to do it, but I think it would be really neat on the McLaren because of the body style. So I'm thinking about doing that. And when it gets cooler, I'm going to change the oil. But right now, my garage is too hot. So I plan to have AC in the garage next year. We're going to put a mini split in there, which should be a big difference because the garage right now is like over 90 degrees. And I do a lot of my videos there. I work on cars there. And I didn't realize that, yeah, this heat is a little crazy. So yeah, I posted a video here recently. I've been thinking about it all day long. I posted a video about my Harley and how some political stuff, right? And I was a little impressed by, not impressed, but a little shocked about the feedback on it. So I decided, you know, that some of these comments were a little bit super annoying. So I decided, you know, I got the power. Why not do it? So I just turned the comments off. And yeah, I think that's the best move right there. I mean, if you think about it, that's the best thing for content creators. So I've been thinking about a couple of cars I want to buy. Right now I'm bringing a trailer. There's an original pearl white 1999 Honda Prelude SH. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. But it's gone past 20 grand or something like that. I'm like, I'm out. Because the Prelude was my first car. So, like, you know, that would have been interesting. And then there's a Honda Civic EF hatch. It's really rough. It's in Utah, about 4 hours away. And I thought that'd be a pretty cool project because I love that car as well. I've been thinking about Porsches a lot. We watched the original Bad Boys movie, and they have a 1995 Porsche 911 Turbo. And guys, I didn't know, but those cars, they sell usually about $250,000 and above. $250,000 and above. I think there was one for $800,000. But the one that was on Bad Boys, that one sold for about two. Oh, there's a cop right there. Let's see. All right, I'm not gonna speed. It's funny how when there's a cop nearby, like our brain is split between driving and making sure you don't get pulled over. And that's the situation right now. I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything dumb. All right, you know, I love where I live. Here I am at a stoplight. The cop pulls up. They're both looking at me. Big old smiles. I wave, they wave. You know, I'm telling you, Grand Junction is an incredible place. An incredible place. I love it. I was researching cities and I found out that Denver has 3 million people. Here at Grand Junction, and that's Denver metropolitan, so that's the whole area. That includes all the little subset cities like, you know, Loveland and Aurora and Boulder and whatever you call it. Well, here in Mesa County, which is the same thing for us, all the cities around Grand Junction, including Grand Junction, we're about $150,000. So people showing some love. 150,000 people. Yeah, I'm telling you guys. I mean, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I had my very first fan who requested to meet me from out of state. So he was on a cross country trip, and I think he literally planned it so he could meet me. And this guy was super duper cool. So his name is Stanton, and he's a surgeon. Oh, talk about cool. Talk about, like, the whole experience was cool. So I met him, and of course he's interested in buying his first supercar, and we talked and we had breakfast and we went for a drive, and it was really, really cool. And I had the opportunity to kind of tell him, like, what cars I think are great. He brought up some good cars that I also thought was great, and we had a great time, so I really enjoyed that. But yeah, he was talking about the Mercedes GTR, the McLaren 12C, the Acura NSX NT1, and these are all the best deals out there. There's nothing you can touch at that price, especially how the market's going. But yeah, that was really cool meeting a fan. So, but guys, I really appreciate you guys joining me on a ride. I really think it's fun to take you guys along and